Hey guys, what's up? It's me, David, again, and I've another video. So we're just gonna get into it very quickly. So basically, um, when I turned 18, I started sports betting, gambling. Okay, I've been to a casino like once or twice, but I've never actually partaken in casino games. But I did a lot of online sports betting back then. I don't know if it's still the same. Back then, in the Champions League, when I went to university in the UK, in the Champions League, it was when an English team would play, you would get like, there were promotions. So normally the English teams back then were like Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, maybe City, maybe Tottenham, it is whatever. And gambling was like a big thing in our friend group, you know what I mean? Sometimes we go Sundays to the pub, watch games, have some, do some side bets and stuff like that. Back then we used Bet365 and stuff like that. But I was 18, 11 years ago. I'm 29 now, and gambling is something that is different back then than it was now. Back then it was something that, you keep quiet to yourself. You don't tell anyone. It was like something that we did in our friend group, but we were still kind of looked down upon. But it was like small £5 bets, £10 bets. I think the highest I ever bet was like £50. You know what I mean? And nowadays you can't watch something like F1, NBA, NFL, even Twitch without seeing some sort of promotion. And I think that's a bit of an issue, you know what I mean? Because now there are more eyes online than ever. And I feel like with all these gambling stuff, we might have a problem in our hands. Nowadays, you don't need to walk into a casino to gamble. Like way back, maybe in the 90s or in the 80s, or maybe even in the early 2000s. Now you can do it off your phone. And there's different forms of gambling, you know what I mean? I think Overwatch had loot boxes. That was like a very thing. Loot boxes in games, FIFA packs. A lot of people spend a lot of money on FIFA Ultimate Team on packs. You know what I mean? Loot boxes, anything in-game. I think Counter-Strike. I think countries like Belgium and Netherlands, they have laws against loot boxes because it's basically children playing these games, and it's kind of becoming an addiction. You know what I mean? When you have happy hour and FIFA and stuff like that, and you spending real money to play something by chance. You know what I mean? You're not guaranteed by something. But I think that's a very broad term. But it does play in the role of something, because some people like me, for Christmas, all I wished for was Microsoft points. I can open more FIFA points, right? No, so I can get more FIFA points to open more packs for a chance to maybe get a good player. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of gamble involved, and especially back then, if you had YouTubers like, I don't know, KSI, Mini Minter, Top Jizzle, these big FIFA YouTubers who all do it, and then all your friends do it, then you want to do it. I've seen some horror stories where, like, kids steal their parents' cards just to open FIFA packs, and then the parents can't pay rent, you know what I mean? Or they can't pay the electric bill. So it's something crazy. Back then, gambling had like a stigma, you know what I mean? It was something that was a little bit, I guess, looked down upon. Like, it was more like a shady thing. It was even ads. You see billboards or even ads warning people like, hey, gambling could be bad or something like that. A lot of times, I think you still see them, but not as a lot anymore. But for example, now the NBA has official like sports betting partners. You know what I mean? Like now on jerseys, I think in football that was always a thing. Like Real Madrid had bwin, and other organizations had like gambling sites on their what's it called, on their jerseys. But for example, F1, I don't know what team is it. Is it Sauber? F1, they one of the teams is Stake, right? Stake is a huge gambling site as well, where they sponsor a lot of streamers. They even have their own streaming platform called Kick. You know what I mean? And that's where you see people play slot machines and blackjack. And there's this phenomenon on social media as well, where people go on social media and they will work one day, right? I don't know if it's real or not. They'll work one day and they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna bet my whole paycheck and play a hand of blackjack. Or
I just finished my 9-hour shift as a traffic guard and I got paid $180. Today I'm gonna be gambling my paycheck and we're gonna see if I can double it. 80, place one hand. Fuck! That's what they give me! I worked 9 hours for this shit! Fuck! Fuck it, we're gonna hit this shit. Let's go. No! Damn it! Go!
I'm gonna play blackjack to win a fridge.
What's up, guys? We're on day 4 of gambling on the fridge till we can buy it.
Expensive fridge.
We're down $250, but that's why you gamble, so you can get stuff for free, right?
Not getting even again. As you guys saw yesterday, it was pretty rough.
Okay.
Oh, stand, dude. 23.
Let's go!
23. Let's go. Oh my gosh, dude, we're gonna get the fridge.
Now we're up.
Day 5 tomorrow. We're gonna get the fridge.
We're even now.
I'm gonna play blackjack to win a Tesla. I'm gonna gamble until I'm debt free.
Here's day 9 of gambling to pay back my debt. I'm in a big hole. Need to win these last 2 days to even be remotely close to even. 5,500 on a live hand. Let's do this. Come on. All right, 5,500. Let's go.
Sit down for the lawyers for 3 places of best seniority. The loan option is available for you.
Yes, sir. Come on. Come on. Okay, I like this. Come on. Don't fuck me. No, come to nothing but an 8. No! Oh my God. There's no way. There's just no way.
Would you like to play again?
Would I like to play again? That's fucking hilarious, bro. I'm out. Oh my God. Last day tomorrow. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna gamble until this, and now it's like this cool thing to do, I guess. And it's like we're glorifying this gambling thing without like, with only showing, okay, people do show their losses, right? And people show their wins in some of these skits that you see. But at the same time, it's like, it kind of wants you to get active as well. Because I'm not gonna lie, I saw a lot of them. I loaded up an account and I started playing some blackjack too. I was like, shit, where did my £10 go? And I was like, fuck, now I lost my money. But hey, it happens. But I think it's something that we can't escape nowadays, because I think Drake does it a lot, where whenever he is sponsored by steak as well, he always posts, like, when there's a sporting event, his huge pay slips, like these not pay slips, what do you call them? Like, he just has a screenshot of his like his bets, right? You know what I mean? Huge. And also streamers who whose primary audience is most likely children under the age of 18. They have sponsors from, these are mostly Americans, so I'm not very familiar with them, like FanDuel, Rain Bets, Stake, there's one I'm missing, Price Picks, and podcasters, you know what I mean? I think I listen to the Joe Budden podcast every week, and there's this segment, Price Picks, you know.
Time for my favorite part of the show, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in all of the land. And with Prize Picks, you can turn $10 to $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections.
I mean, it's always FanDuel, and every podcast, every show that you watch, not every show, but every streamer, they have some sort of segment or sponsorship. And when you have so many eyes on you, it's a little bit scary, you know what I mean? Like, you're exposing a lot of people to do something, or showing them something that maybe, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a little bit wild, let me say that. So I do have some stats here. I'm going to read them off my trusty iPad. In the UK alone, over 14 billion is spent on gambling each year, and 6 billion of that is just from online gambling. Between 2018 and 2023, online gambling participation nearly doubled. A record of 1.5 billion was made online gambling in just one quarter of 2024. And sports betting isn't just a niche anymore. It's become casual and fashionable. And I agree with that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't go. Again, I've been to casinos. The only time I've been to a casino was in Macau. One of the hotels, I guess it's a casino. You had to go through the casino to get to the main entrance or something like that. And then one time, I think my friends wanted to watch boxing after a night out. This was like years ago, and then the casino played it, and they played some blackjack or like roulette. I've never actually participated. I would have loved to do it in Macau, but I didn't have any cash, so I couldn't. And then the other time, I just didn't have any money. But it was a thing that we did back in the day when I was like 18, 19, 20. We always show our not pay slips. I always say pay slip. There's a word I'm missing. The word I was looking for was parlay. That's it. I don't know. I had brain fart, brain freeze. It was parlay. That's it. That's the word I wasn't wanted to say. Parlay. GG's. Is it ACCA? What is it? When you accumulate, what do you call it when you have several ones? I don't know. There's a I'm missing the word. I know what the word is called. But normally we screenshot it and stuff like that, and we send it in a group chat, or we look at the odds, bets and stuff like that. It was always something fun, I guess, back then. But at the same time, sometimes you lose money and you want to chase the money back. Sometimes you think, this happens to me all the time. Bayern Munich, they should win probably 80 or 90% their matches in the Bundesliga, and the one time you bet on them, they lose like 1-0 to, I don't know, whoever, right? And it's just like, ugh. And then you just lose so much money. But again, I was fortunate not to have bet more than 30 or 40 pounds or 50 pounds at one time. So I've never had a massive loss. Like, I've never lost like 200, 300 or 500 pounds before. So, but as I said before, you don't have to gamble in a casino, or you have to do sports betting to get hooked. I mean, the craziest trend right now, Labubu's, right? Is blind boxes. Is it gambling? I don't know. I guess it's fun, right? But some people get hooked. They pay loads and loads of money to get what they want. Same with Counter-Strike. You see Nadeshot right now spending over $50,000, right, to get something cool, a knife or something like that. And it's just, you're chasing something. Same with the FIFA packs, as I mentioned before, the loot openings in they all have like these gacha games. I don't know, is it Genshin Impact and all this stuff? They have these things where the more you open, I think in League of Legends by TFT, is like, if you spent a certain amount, then you are guaranteed. So you can keep opening loot boxes and you might get the thing that you want, or if you spend, let's say, $350, then you're guaranteed it. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy. So you don't have to be hooked by going to a casino or doing sports betting or online gambling and stuff like that. You can get hooked by anything nowadays because everything is being sold behind a paywall, and then it's just like you constantly go over and over again. Hey, look at this secret rare. Look at this butterfly knife. And then it's just like, you can get it, or if you open more. And then it's like, maybe you get 1 or 2 free good pulls. And then it's just like, I remember in FIFA back then when I used to play, it was like, oh, now it's happy hour. Now you're going to get the jumbo packs. And now it's like, you're constantly chasing something that you might eventually not get. There's some people that spend £10,000 on FIFA in a year. You know what I mean? And just for it to reset the next year. For what? I don't know. That's, everyone does what they want with their money, right? But I feel like nowadays it's being put in front of a face more than ever, and it's getting to a point where maybe we are setting some young people up for failure, because as I just said, you don't have to go to a casino anymore to gamble. And now we have big companies like the UFC, as I said, the UFC, NFL. Let me see what I wrote here. The UFC, NFL, NBA, F1. for example, in the UFC, I know in the UFC and the NFL, they do it a lot. When you watch the game live, they show you like odds. They show you like odds for winning, who can win this. If you bet this much money, you're gonna get that much money out. And this is live while you watch the event. And imagine if you have like a 14-year-old just watching that, right? Like, I don't know, okay, should 14-year-olds watch UFC? I don't know. The NFL, right? That's reasonable, I guess. I think you exposing them to something like critical. You know what I mean? Now it's just like, if a 14-year-old, that 14-year-old who watches that eventually gets to 18, maybe the first thing they're going to do, they're going to say, hey, my favorite NFL team is playing. Let me put some money on it. And now it's like, maybe he might win or they might win the first time. And now forever they're going to be chasing that first win. And that is it. Some people just gamble for the sake of feeling something. You know what I mean? And I feel like exposing people, it's like, why is it? What I'm saying is like we creating gambling to be a part of entertainment nowadays. I think it's being glorified. Same with like these Twitch streamers or the podcasters and other entertainers. They get paid huge amount of money to promote this. And I feel like, I don't know, God willing, if I was to become a big creator, maybe I would take, I don't know if I could take the deal, but maybe I would. I don't know. Because if, let's say if I, example, have 2 million subscribers, right? And half a million, 500,000 people watch my videos all the time. And if I can promote this gambling side and let's say 200,000 of you watch, go to the gambling side, it's based on statistics, most of you are going to lose, right? So the money that they pay me, they're going to make that back within a day or maybe a week or whatever, right? So these bookies, they can just like keep paying these creators loads and loads and loads and loads of money. And then they have expose it to more people. And now, as I said, gambling is becoming a thing where it's glorified. It's also becoming a part of just everyday entertainment. You can't watch sporting events without seeing odds placed. And I think back then it was just something like strictly for adults. Like you would have never been able to see that in my day. You know what I mean? That the furthest you'd see is maybe Real Madrid again with the B-Win or whatever they had as their sponsor back then. I don't know if this is the same sponsor. I think it's Emirates now. I'm not sure. Funny because my last video I wore a Real Madrid shirt, so I don't even know what the sponsor is. And by the way, I'm not a Real Madrid fan. Okay, I'm a fan of some players. I'm not a fan of Real Madrid. I think Barcelona is a superior team, but I'm not a fan. Okay, that's just me. Me personally, I stopped gambling years ago, right? Do I still do it here and there? Sometimes, yes. As I said, last week, I did a few bets on baseball. Juan Soto to hit and Shohei Ohtani to hit. Juan Soto hit, Ohtani didn't. I don't know nothing about baseball. But I don't know why I decided to bet on baseball. And when I started, it was something in the shadows, right? It was something that me and my friends did. It was legal, right? Because as I said, I did it when I was 18. Me and my friends did it. We had fun in a group chat, I guess. We all lost money, but it was all £10, £5, maybe 20. Everyone had different situations back then. But right now, it's as big as ever. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And nowadays, it's not about placing a bet. It's about nowadays it's not about placing a bet. It's about chasing the hit. The dopamine rush, that's what you get with it. That's what it is. And I feel like gambling is something just as serious as like taking drugs or I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, forgive me, or having an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction. I think gambling is just right there. Do you know what I mean? Just because you don't consume something and your body like changes or whatever, I think it can just have the potential to destroy someone's life just as much as that. So I think it's a bit weird that we have F1 cars wrapped in a gambling sponsor, you know what I mean? Back then, but now it's like, oh, we couldn't have the F1. I think it was Ferrari sponsored by Marlboro, the cigarette. I've never smoked cigarettes before. I don't know. Marlboro cigarettes. Wait, let me get something. Lucky for you, I am a huge F1 fan. So I do have stickers here. So This is the, I think this is the 2003 card or 2001. It was in the 2000 that Michael Schumacher raced with. The other one is Sebastian Vettel. Anyway, so we do have the Marlboro here. I think it's flipped. Marlboro sponsor. And I think they banned that sponsor because they think it's harmful. Because like you can't have cigarettes as a sponsor because it's harmful. Just like you couldn't have alcohol as a sponsor and stuff like that. And I think that's a little bit shitty. Now you have a car wrapped around a gambling sponsor. Why is it that in children's shows, I know this is like in UK, I don't know if this is in Germany or other European countries, that you cannot advertise, for example, on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, you cannot advertise sugary snacks like cornflakes, like what's the Frosted Flakes and stuff like that, because it influences them. Well, it's not bad for them, or it's bad for them. But then why is it when we watch American football, which is just normal football, like American football should be an 18s only thing that we watch, or let's say UFC or F1 or basketball, that you see live sporting odds? Do you know what I mean? Like why ban the one thing, but then let's say if I want to watch the Super Bowl with my family, right? I don't have kids or a wife or anything. I'm just saying as an example. If I want to watch a sporting event with my family, and I was to have, let's say, a child, why can they see all the sporting odds and the if you use code NFL, you get an extra $100. If I have a little brother who wants to watch Twitch, if you use my code David, you're gonna get an extra $100 that we match. Do you know what I mean? It's like, is it not just as bad? Is it not just as bad? I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again right now, but I think it's just an issue. I think, yeah, that's what it is. I just think it's an issue. I just wanted to take a quick rant, and that's it. So I'm sorry, and I just think some companies, I don't think the companies are at fault because they are offering a lot of money. I don't know how much they're offering the NBA. Could be in the billions. I don't know. So maybe that money is hard to turn down. But having it on live broadcast to see for everyone, I think that's just whack. You know what I mean? I just think that's whack. You know what I mean? So I get the other side with the streamers or the podcasters as well. Hey, if someone's gonna offer you, let's say, $5 million a month or something like that, or $2 million a month for you to promote their gambling side, hey, I don't know. I might take it too. I might not. I've never been put in a situation like that. But yes, they make a lot of money. It's true. But I just think like it's not fair because, and as I said, it's with the games, you know what I mean? With Counter-Strike and the FIFA packs and stuff like that. It's like we kind of setting up children to become these gambling degenerates, and then when they do eventually turn 18, there's so many bookies that will give them, if you put €100 here, you get an extra €300. I think we kind of setting people up for failure at this point. That's just my take. That's just what it is. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm also going to put in the description that if you have any issues with gambling, I'm going to put a website for the UK. And I think I'm going to put other websites, as many as I can for Germany, and a phone number that you can call. I'm going to try put it in the description. So if I didn't put it in the description, please comment. So maybe I might have forgot. But I'm going to put it down there. If you need help, seek help. You know what I mean? And as I said, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. And until the next one.